Before we begin, I want you to imagine a classroom where every child, regardless of their background, has the tools that they need to thrive. Yet, research conducted by Famed Ali in 2022 shows that Black and Hispanic children are 30% less likely to receive an early autism diagnosis, delaying critical interventions and perpetuating cycles of educational inequity. This is not just a failure of education, but a systemic issue rooted in the barriers spanning policies, communities, and schools. My name is Adina Kessler, and today we'll be diving into the gaps in education for neurodivergent students from marginalized backgrounds. This issue is deeply personal to me. As a neurodivergent educator and a mother from a marginalized group to a neurodivergent child, I've lived these challenges firsthand. I remember the day that I realized how systemic barriers affect children like my own. Sitting in a meeting with specialists, I was told we'd have to wait months for essential support because the resources in our area were just so limited. It felt like the system was failing my child before he even had a chance. In my classroom, I've seen students face the same struggles, brilliant kids held back not by their abilities, but by the lack of early diagnosis and tailored interventions. These aren't just numbers to me, these are real children with untapped potential. One student, for example, excelled in creative problem solving but really struggled with communication. Their late autism diagnosis meant years of missed support, making it harder to adapt to their needs later on. This isn't just an isolated incident, it's a reflection of the gaps in our system that we can and must address. My hypothesis is that teachers with targeted training and access to autism specific resources are more effective in supporting the educational needs of autistic children from marginalized groups. This can help reduce disparities in both education and diagnosis, creating more equitable outcomes for all students. Ecological System Theory explains how systemic barriers across different levels, so school policies, community resources, and government funding, interact to perpetuate inequities. This map from Famed Ali in 2023 highlights the concentration of autism resources in wealthier regions, leaving underserved communities with way fewer options. These disparities create significant challenges for families in accessing critical support, reinforcing cycles of inequity. Self-efficacy theory explains an individual's belief in their ability, allowing them to achieve their goals. For teachers, this means confidence in adapting lesson plans, managing behaviors, and supporting diverse students effectively. This table from Johnson et al. In 2021 demonstrates how professional development significantly boosts teacher self-efficacy. Teachers who received training saw their post-test scores rise dramatically from 1.64 to 3.04, compared to minimal improvement in the control group. These findings show that targeted training equips educators to implement evidence-based practices, ultimately improving outcomes for neurodivergent students. Social learning theory emphasizes the power of observing and modeling behaviors. In special education, this approach fosters collaboration and shared strategies among teachers. This portion of a table from Shu and Garcia in 2021 highlights how teachers who observe culturally responsive practices during training adopted similar strategies in their classrooms. Higher ratings in areas like collaborative problem solving and inclusivity show the transformative effect of modeling best practices. This underscores the importance of training that incorporates observational learning to improve classroom dynamics and outcomes for students with diverse needs. My proposed solutions are rooted in the psychological theories we've explored. First, equitable resource distribution aligns with ecological system theory by addressing systemic inequities. By reallocating autism specific resources to underserved communities, we can break the cycles of disparity shown in Famed Ali in 2023 and ensure that every family has the access that they need. Second, targeted teacher training programs are informed by self-efficacy theory. As Johnson et al. In 2021 demonstrated, professional development significantly improves teachers' confidence in adapting lesson plans and managing classrooms. By investing in these programs, we equip educators to better meet the needs of their neurodivergent students. Finally, culturally responsive teaching practices draws on social learning theory. Shu and Garcia's in 2021 finding highlight how modeling inclusive strategies during training encourages teachers to adopt these practices in their own classroom. This creates an environment where all students feel valued and supported. Together, these solutions address the root causes of disparities while providing actionable steps for creating inclusive and equitable education. Now, again, I want you to imagine that classroom where every child, regardless of background, has the tools that they need to thrive. This isn't just a vision, it's a reality that we can create. By addressing systemic barriers, empowering teachers, and fostering inclusive practices, we can build classrooms where every child has the opportunity to succeed, feel valued, and reach their full potential. The future is within our reach, and it starts with the steps that we take today to create equitable and inclusive education for all. It's time to turn vision into action. By advocating for systemic change, supporting educators, and investing in inclusive practices, we can dismantle barriers and build opportunities for all students. Together, we can create a future where every child has a chance to succeed. So, will you join me in making this a reality? Thank you for your time and attention. I'm happy to answer any questions.